Delilah's tale commences with the remarkable circumstances surrounding the birth of Samson. His father, Manoah, hails from the tribe of Dan, while his mother grapples with the burden of barrenness. The impending arrival of Samson is heralded by an angel to Manoah's wife in seclusion, delivering strict directives concerning Samson's destiny as a Nazirite. These precepts, delineated in Numbers chapter 6, verses 2 through 5, dictate Nazirites to shun alcohol, refrain from shearing their locks, and eschew razors. Samson, designated by God as a Nazirite until his demise, adheres to these guidelines from his very inception, with his mother also honoring them throughout her pregnancy. As Samson matures, he is bestowed with divine blessings, emerging as a man of extraordinary vigor and latent abilities. God's design for Samson encompasses leading the army of Israel against its adversaries, for which he is endowed with unparalleled strength, earning him the distinction of being the mightiest man in biblical lore. Samson's displays of prowess include slaying a lion with his bare hands and triumphing over 1,000 foes in combat. Despite his unmatched physical might, Samson's Achilles' heel lies in his infatuation with a woman known as Delilah. This strong man, Samson, had a significant weakness, particularly when it came to women, especially one named Delilah. His attraction to her was so powerful that it clouded his judgment, which is often referred to as a fatal attraction. Delilah was driven by a love for money and was self-centered and focused on herself. The leaders of the Philistines approached her and offered her a large sum of money to discover the secret of Samson's strength so they could defeat him. Delilah agreed to their plan and developed a relationship with Samson. On 3 occasions, she asked him about the source of his strength, and each time Samson lied to her. However, Delilah persisted, and eventually, Samson revealed that his strength would be weakened if he were bound with 7 fresh, unbroken bowstrings. The Philistine leaders brought her the bowstrings, and she used them to bind Samson. But when the Philistines attacked, Samson easily broke free, keeping the secret of his strength hidden. Delilah accused Samson of deceiving her and demanded to know the truth about his weakness. Samson, caught in his emotions, confessed that if he were bound securely with new, unused ropes, he would lose his strength. Delilah bound him with these ropes, warning him that the Philistines were coming. However, Samson easily broke free from the ropes, thwarting her plan once again. This scenario repeated for a 3rd time, with Delilah's attempts failing each time. Desperate, she emotionally manipulated Samson by questioning his love for her and his refusal to disclose his strength. Finally, after being betrayed 3 times, Samson, driven by his emotions, revealed the truth. His strength came from his unshaven hair, a symbol of his lifelong dedication to God as a Nazirite. Delilah's actions, driven solely by her love for money, highlight her deceitfulness and betrayal. She called upon the Philistine leaders, lulling Samson to sleep and shaving off his 7 locks of hair, betraying him in exchange for their payment. Her feigned love for Samson in pursuit of money is deeply troubling and reflects the harsh realities of the world we live in today, where not everyone has good intentions. This cautionary tale serves as a reminder not to be naive, as appearances can be deceiving, and not everyone who crosses our path has our best interests at heart. The story concludes tragically, with Samson captured and his eyes gouged out by the Philistines. They imprisoned him, chained him with bronze fetters, and forced him to grind grain in the prison. Despite his captivity, his shaven hair began to grow back. Even the strongest men have weaknesses and struggles. David, a revered figure, grappled with issues regarding women. Similarly, King Solomon, renowned for his wisdom, was not without his flaws. Job, known for his righteousness, struggled with his eyesight, requiring him to make a covenant regarding what he looked at. Samson, driven by his emotions, disregarded warning signs and repeatedly lied to Delilah, knowing she sought his downfall. In today's world, there are still women like Delilah, self-serving and manipulative, capable of causing great harm to others. While there are undoubtedly many honorable and virtuous women, there are also those who resemble Delilah. It's essential not to allow emotions and lust to cloud judgment, as Samson did. Emotions themselves are not inherently bad, but the Bible doesn't advocate for making decisions solely based on them. Delilah, however, exploited Samson's emotions, questioning his love to manipulate him. Therefore, it's crucial to be wary of those who appeal to our emotions, recognizing the importance of making rational decisions rather than being swayed by feelings alone. Delilah didn't appeal to Samson's rationality because, had she done so, his mind would have warned him against trusting her due to her history of deceit. Instead, she manipulated his emotions, which led him astray. Making decisions solely based on emotions can lead to ruin, as Samson's story illustrates. Despite his greatness, Samson's emotions blinded him to the reality that he was dealing with a deceitful woman. Likewise, many individuals, perhaps even some listening now, have been called to greatness but struggle with weaknesses in their lives. I can attest to making poor decisions driven by emotions rather than relying on the wisdom of God's Word. The Bible does not advocate following feelings, as they can be misleading, changeable, and confusing. Samson's story underscores the importance of assessing a person's character rather than being swayed by superficial attractions. If Samson had considered Delilah's character, he would have recognized her greed and deceit. Lust has the power to weaken even the strongest individuals, serving as a cautionary reminder to remain vigilant against its influence. Lust has the power to weaken even the strongest man. It clouds judgment, leading to destruction in various aspects of life. It can break up homes, ruin health, drain finances, and steal joy. Lust can plunge individuals into deep despair, creating a chasm between them and God. In Judges, chapter 16 verse 20, Samson, driven by lust, finds himself in a perilous situation. Unaware that the Lord has departed from him, he remains oblivious to the consequences of his actions. Lust can blind individuals to the presence of God, creating a barrier between them and divine guidance. Fatal attraction, a form of extreme infatuation, can become unhealthy and dangerous when left unchecked. It can lead individuals down a path they never intended to travel, leaving them wondering how they ended up in such a predicament. I've witnessed firsthand the destructive power of lust, witnessing how it can derail lives with a single decision. Therefore, it's essential to avoid making decisions based solely on emotions or lust. Instead, seek guidance from God's Word and maintain a healthy perspective on relationships and desires.